Hey everyone, and welcome to Restless Barbarian Gaming. My name is Bolthra, and tonight we are playing some Vampire. Specifically, we are playing Mortem, our chronicle set in the Dark Ages. If this is your first time here, welcome. Glad you found us. Please be sure to give the video a like. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't, so we can continue to entertain you with our games. I'm going to go ahead and introduce my players. I'm going to start from the middle this time, and let's introduce Jen.
Hi, I'm Jen. I'm playing Iskra. She is terrified of churches, and that's all you need to know. She's having a bad time right now.
Thank you, Jen. And Marissa. I think you're on mute.
Muted.
Hi, I'm playing Zoya. She's a Ventru, and yeah, she's off without her sire for the first time ever, and trying not to make a complete fool out of herself in front of the Prince of Venice.
Alrighty, and Ninad.
I'm Nad. I'm playing Heinous, another Ventru who is participating in council on behalf of other forces and trying to make his own way in Venice.
Alrighty, and Diver.
I am Venice's favorite assassin. I'm playing Vincent V.V. Valorissimo, and he is quite enjoying the lodgings, unlike Iskra. They have all kinds of perverse reliefs and mosaics up, and he is just enjoying all the artwork and the wine and the free blood dolls and everything else. And VV couldn't be happier.
Let's just give kind of a quick recap from last episode. Our characters are in Venice, attending a council of Cainites who are exerting their will into a mortal event, which is the beginning of a fourth crusade to take back the Holy Lands. They have met with the other council members who represent different clans, different factions within the Society of the Night, shall we say. Of the people they met, there's a couple different characters who really do stand out. When they attended the council, there really seems to be kind of 2 or 3 prevalent thoughts as to what actions they feel that the Crusaders should be taking. A faction from Spain, led by Tommaso Biaxo, and I cannot pronounce his last name, we're just going to call him Tommaso, favor sending the Crusaders to Palestine to support the other Christian factions nearby. He is accompanied by a young vampire by the name of Lucita of Aragon. She has not been permitted by Tommaso, it's almost my freaking name and I can't say it, to speak in the council, but she has interacted with the coterie. On the other side is a Ventru by the name of Lonzo von Sushan. He favors attacking Egypt to try to split the Muslim armies in half. He has 2 aides with him. They are, of course, both Ventru, and they are French. Amaury de Versailles and Roland du Rocher. And there is another Cainite they have dealt with, Anna Sigorna. She is from the Byzantine faction, from the east, and tries to speak up on their behalf of feeling that Constantinople is not just a place to be divided and conquered by crusaders, that it has its own history and culture that needs to be preserved. There is also another figure who has not said a whole lot, by the name of Domenico Giovanni. He is of the Cappadocian clan. He is mostly there just to watch his clan's investments and is looking to see how the money is being spent in this crusade, whether or not it will succeed or not. And that has been one of the key sticking points is it worth it to run this crusade kind of the term return on investment, I don't think has been coined yet, but that is really what Domenico and Roland have been kind of debating. Is what's the biggest bang for our buck is essentially what they've been debating. Roland has been debating hotly with Lonzo because they're on different sides of the coin, as it were, in what the Crusaders should be doing. Roland did engage some of the characters, did ask them some questions, really on their opinion about how things should be done, and he has been about the only one who's really asked them for their opinion. Otherwise, council members have mostly ignored them, perhaps giving them a kind of a look like, who the hell are you and why are you here? But Roland
That'd be me.
and Roland did thank the characters for their contributions. The meeting ended about 1:30 in the morning. They typically start just after sundown, and go till about 3 o'clock in the morning. So the characters were able to retire for the evening, and we did talk about how some of the accommodations were a bit religious, that bothered poor Iskra. While on the other hand, Vivi was having a field day with it. So everyone's kind of had their own kind of feeling about it. We're going to pick up with the following evening, and I would like a rouse check from everyone now that you've arisen for the evening.
Okay.
I live.
Trying to remember how to do that. I just
You're
roll
going
one
to click
dice.
the rouse button on your character sheet.
That's
On
a
the character
0
sheet.
success.
Yep.
That's
Yeah.
unfortunate. I'm
There we
hungrier. Hungry.
Okay, here we go.
Okay, Iskra was successful.
Okay.
It's like Zoya was successful. Vivi, and
Like I said, hungrier.
did we lose Nanad again?
I think we
Yes.
might have.
I think we did. Okay, we'll have him make a roll when he comes
When it
back.
gets back. Yeah.
You've arisen. You know that you're supposed to be meeting with the council again, but we'll say you've got a few minutes before probably you're probably summoned to the council hall again. So like I said, I'd like to just kind of check in with each character and kind of see what you're doing. So
Okay. So Iskra wakes up, notices that her hair is just everywhere, and she's going to go knock on Zoya's door to see if someone can braid it.
okay.
It's always about her hair. I've noticed.
It is.
always
It's
about her hair.
always been a problem for her from way back. So.
She tries cutting it, the next night it comes back.
Yeah.
So.
It does, yeah. Uh-huh. It's the humidity. You know? Yeah, so I'm gonna go.
It is humid in Venice. It's summer. So
Yeah,
okay. So
yeah.
knock, knock, knock.
Yeah, I'm gonna knock on Zoya's door.
So I'll have one of the girls open the door for you. It'll be Annika.
Annika. Hi.
Stares at you. What can I assist you with?
I was hoping one of you could help me braid this.
Is that Iskra?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Let her in. Let her in.
She steps
Okay.
out of the way.
All right, I go in. Hi. I need
Hi,
some help
Iskra.
with this.
I think you came to the right place. I think we can manage something.
I hope so. It's just unmanageable most of the time, and the humidity's not helping at all.
Yeah, I think that one of the girls in particular also has like really, really long, very curly red hair. So she feels your
she'll
pain.
understand.
She'll
Yeah.
understand. She can help you out.
Okay. Thank you.
No roll necessary.
No, well necessary.
He even did it without asking for a boon. So generous.
Yeah, typically vampires are like, what the hell?
That's right.
Right. Yeah. It's
That's a lot there. All right, I think I'm going to need at least a minor boon for that. Yeah.
I start to just look around my room though, and are there any crosses in my room? Because I'm going to start hiding.
God, there
Of
might
course
be.
there are.
I start hiding them under things.
Okay. And
Tucking
Iskra's
them
gonna
behind
just like,
pillows or like
yeah.
under blankets and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, Iskra has kind of noticed, and she's just gonna look at the floor until this is gone. You know?
And then she notices that there's like a big old cross in the tiles of the floor. You know.
Oh, I hope not.
What did you make of the meeting yesterday, Iskra?
They seem to be fighting with each other mostly.
There didn't seem to be anyone actually in favor of sending people to Constantinople.
Yeah, I don't know. I get a little lost in these things.
Yeah, I guess I'm feeling a bit like I don't have any allies in there in terms of what my sire is hoping for me to accomplish here.
Oh, okay, yeah. I don't know what my sire wanted me to do. I think she just thought it'd be a good idea. We're a small clan. It's only 3 of us.
I didn't expect that I would be on the outs with all of the other Ventru in the room.
It happens. I mean, I don't think anybody likes me. I'm from Bruja clan, and we have a reputation.
Do you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You don't want to fight us.
Don't bring up Carthage.
I guess in my circle, not having that sort of a reputation isn't a bad thing.
Oh. Okay.
I think that the Templars or the Teutonic Knights, I think, would probably hope that people feel the same way about them.
Yeah. I don't know. All this is over my head. I've just been sitting there. I don't think what is his name? The man in charge. Is he a king? Or
Oh, the prince?
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. I don't think he likes me. He
I'm-
kind of made a comment.
I don't think he likes anyone.
Could be that. Could be that.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna wait for my horrible hair to get braided.
Okay. Let's see. What is Vivi doing? I want to say Vivi, our player from the other night.
Right. Yes.
Vivi. What is he up to once he has risen?
Vivi is going to wake up and he's going to pour a glass of wine, and then he's going to stick his head out the door and yell, "Boy!"
Oh no.
And you see him kind of pop back in and hand reach out and just like pull him in, and just
Oh no.
and he's going to have breakfast, and reduce that hunger back to 1.
Okay.
And he's like, off with you, and make sure that I get more wine stocked in here, and maybe a girl or two. I mean, come on.
And he kind of staggers out and he says, "Girl or 2 of wine."
Yeah. Chop, quick march. Let's go. Come on. Time is money, friend.
Telling a go to bring a girl and then telling him chop might be a dangerous thing to say.
Yeah, if he brings back something I don't like, I will just basically tell the prince that he's worthless and he needs to find a new servant. So, yeah. And then he is going to check to see if he received any love letters from Lucida and or her Spanish beau, and because he did extend at the end of the last episode that offer to of his services.
He did, didn't he? Yeah.
He has a reputation to maintain and expand, and he's always looking for new opportunities. And it sounded like Tommaso, I believe his name was. He was pretty upset. I could see the scowl on his face from like 100 yards away, and he was just not saying much. He was fuming, and when someone is fuming, they generally have dark thoughts towards other people, and that's usually where I come in. So that's I was just offering her my services, and I didn't know whether she knew me or not. I figured Spain, she probably does, but you never know. And so yeah, I'm just gonna check for that. I don't think I see anything from them at this time, but
Nope.
that's fine. I'm patient. They'll change your minds one of these nights. So yeah. Other than that, I'm just gonna drink and stare at the art till I'm needed. So.
All right. Mihail, you have arisen.
I'm actually going to. How much? When do we start with the actual?
You have basically like about 5 or 10 minutes before you're going to have to go to your council meeting. So.
Okay, so it's not much time. Okay, I'll rouse, kind of get. Well, I'm actually probably sleeping dressed already, so.
I would assume, yeah, you guys probably brought clothes with you, but
Right, yeah.
so you have enough time to to change, check your email, that kind of thing. Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
check for any. Yeah, and then go forth and actually head to the council chamber, see if there's anybody there early.
Okay. You get there, and there's a couple members are there. And a servant would come around and gather the rest of you, and bring you to the council room.
I try and get a feel of the room, so how basically the people who are there early are normally the people who are eager to get things started or are just toading up. So, is there anybody significant there, or is it just people toading up?
Well, you do notice that Tommaso is there, Lucita, Emery, Anna, and Domenico are there. You do not see Lonzo yet. You do not see the prince, and you do not see Guillermo, who is the prince's second in command.
Okay, are they all talking together, or Tommaso and?
Everyone's kind of separate. And that is when you see the rest of your new coterie arrive.
Good evening. I found you a good spot. Just move to near chair.
Back in the smoking section, right? So.
Right.
It's Venice. Everywhere is the smoking section.
Exactly. Actually, I was thinking that the other day. I was like, tobacco hasn't been found yet. So I don't.
No, you're right, actually.
So I don't think they would really be smoking anything unless it's opium or something like that.
Could be.
Oh, the
East.
opium,
Yeah.
cannabis. I'm sure there's other
Muted.
stuff.
Yeah.
You're muted.
Sure.
Evie.
He said, "I'm still hiding behind the smoke wherever it is, whatever it's coming from."
waiting for your chance. No.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Although I think vampires and smoking don't really mix.
Don't, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. As you're waiting, you see Lonzo von Sushin stride in to the council room, and he is followed by Guillermo and the prince. Now, anyone with any common sense stands up when the prince arrives.
Are
I'll
they
do
walking in together, or they just arriving at the
Yeah,
same
they're all
time?
walking in together.
Okay.
And the prince and Guillermo, who is his second in command, kind of move over to the side by themselves. And Lonzo is looking rather upset. Do you want to see a picture of him again, or do you guys?
Yeah.
I
Okay.
would, yeah.
Yep,
Refresh
that
me.
sounds good. Let me find him once more. And that is not the folder, Tom. Yeah, let's find him. Not Sophia by Night. That would be the wrong
No.
folder.
Wrong game.
Yeah, wrong game.
You'll find it.
Post Mortem. There we go.
There you go.
There we go. Let's show you Lonzo. I always want to say Alonzo, but he is not Alonzo. He is just Lonzo. Here he is.
Okay.
Well, he doesn't look quite as calm this time. His face is more rigid. And he is looking very upset. And he stands in the front and addresses the crowd. And he says, "My fellow esteemed Cainites, looking around here, you will see that we are missing one of our number. In the night, my personal aide, Roland du Rocher, was murdered."
It wasn't me. I
We
didn't.
all I try not to look at Vivi.
And all eyes do turn on Vivi.
There's no initials carved next to him, I assume, so not me. I leave my little telltale mark.
And he kind of stomps at you. This is no joking matter.
I do not joke, sir. I'm just saying that I cannot claim credit for this. Nor would I want to in this case. I wasn't simply paid for it, so I don't do work for free. He may be offensive anyway, so if I need to make a roll, I'm fine with doing that.
Well, I'm going to make a roll. Can I tell, is Vivi lying or not?
Yeah.
Because I mean,
you can definitely make that roll. You can definitely make that roll. Vivi, are you attempting to basically fight back?
No, I'm not going to make a roll. He can have this because Vivi is actually being stunningly honest here. The only question, I mean, I'll roll just in case, like, you need me to in order for our character here to see if he actually can read Vivi at all. But
yeah. Let's see. Does Mihail have any auspex?
No, I have lots of subterfuge and some
I couldn't remember what he had. Okay.
So I'll roll manipulation subterfuge just to see if he can read me or not.
Manipulation subterfuge.
Yeah. But he's not hiding anything, so yeah. So I got 2 successes. Good luck with that.
And
so what do I roll?
Let's see. Well, you can either try to intimidate him. You could try.
I'm just observing him, trying to see if he is lying or not. I'm not.
I feel like wit's insight, perhaps.
Yeah. That's where I was. That's where I was probably going to go with wit's insight. So.
Or can I make a freeze for subterfuge because I know how to lie? I know how other people lie.
No, subterfuge is attempting to lie. So no, it's going to be wit's insight. So.
Fair enough.
Ooh.
Yeah. So.
You imagine? I can't tell.
Yep. Tie goes to the runner. So. Okay. So yeah.
Like he's trying to. Yeah. So I assume that he's honest. Then.
You can't quite tell. Now, obviously, when he says this,
Phoebe's got a really good poker face. You just can't really.
Several of the Cainites stand up and begin to not quite shout, but they are demanding to know exactly what has happened to Lonzo, saying how was he murdered? And Lonzo says his very vitae was turned to dust.
Sounds like Tremere shit.
There is some sort of foul magic at work.
Does Tremere even exist at this point?
The Tremere exists, yeah.
I mean, that's the first group you blame anyway for anything that any shenanigans. It's just true.
And Lonzo casts a glance over at Tommaso. And says, "You had argued vigorously against him. I would not put it past you to hire some scoundrel, looks over at VV, to assassinate one of my clan. Tommaso and Lucida look at each other, and Lucida kind of leans in to talk to Tommaso. Now, VV, I will give you a chance if you want to try to possibly read lips, try to hear what they're saying. If you would like to.
have two ideas.
Okay.
One is I will do that because why not? The second one is that I will actually speak up in support of Tommaso and Lucida because, and I will do this by casually flinging one of my daggers right within a hair's breadth of Lonzo. Oh yes. I'm meaning not to hit him, but like it's a demonstration of skill here.
Am I close enough to see him reach for a dagger?
Yes. Actually, all of you can see him reaching for a dagger.
Can I quickly just try and kind of just push his hand down before he does something really stupid?
Is anyone else want to do something?
Yeah, I'm gonna go in and try to stop him as
You're
well.
gonna grab me before I can throw the dagger?
I'm not gonna grab you. I'm just gonna grab your wrist with the dagger.
Yeah, it's like both of us from each side.
What are you doing?
You saw this already.
Okay, so what is my role for reading lips? Because why not?
Probably intelligence and
Investigation?
investigation. Yeah. Gonna need at least 2 successes.
At least 2. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, I can do that. That's 5 successes.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You and you alone. Figure out she's saying he did offer his services as an assassin last night.
They're referring to me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. While my hand with the dagger is being held, I will speak up and say it's not possible that it was either of our 2 representatives of Spain, simply because I offered my services and I am the finest assassin in all of Europe. Okay, and if they had wanted somebody dead, they would have enlisted me, and I obviously did not do it because my initials are not carved. It's not my signature. I did not get paid for this, which I don't do any work for pro bono. And if my comrades here would just let me throw my dagger, I would demonstrate to you how lethal I am with one of these if I had wanted to kill somebody. So he's like coming out with this whole
Lonzo begins to shout, I demand this one be locked up now.
I'm innocent. I haven't done anything. Oh, this is offensive to my abilities as an assassin. Dear Prince, you know me.
Okay, Alonso is the Bosferatu here?
Technically, yes. Technically, Praetor is there.
Mm-hmm.
Praetor, can I ask you a favor? Can you please escort Vivi to his trailer? I think he needs to cool down a bit.
Okay. And he will go over and stand next to Vivi. Like, there's 2 ways this can go.
I don't want to go up against like a wrecking ball like Praetor, so I'm just...
Yeah, I'm going to try to take your dagger as well.
No,
I'll give it back later.
It's mine. I really like it. I polish it every night.
I'll give it back to you later. Just...
I've got 6 more.
This one, Guillermo comes over and is like, okay. You know, in medieval terms, let's take it down a notch.
Yeah. He's so offended. You know, like he couldn't possibly be the culprit here.
Vivi will be escorted from the room and will be kept in his chambers until he is summoned.
You will rue the day. Gets dragged off.
You say that?
Yes.
God.
Okay.
You'll kind of just step away from him.
The prince will stand up and look at Vivi and say, "Silence." You can try to resist it, but
No.
and his voice just makes everybody shut up. And he just waves his hand for Guillermo to escort you from the room. Okay. Anything, Zoya doing anything?
She's watching.
Okay.
She's trying to, while all of this is, playing out, just taking a good hard look at the faces of the major characters, major players here, and trying to see if anyone gives anything away, in terms of.
Is there anyone specific you want to look at?
Let's see. I think she would be actually watching maybe Domenico, because he hasn't actually said anything yet. And I'm just, while the others are all busy,
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Why don't you try a wits and insight? So you actually click on insight, then click on wits. He amazingly doesn't seem to be getting involved, but he doesn't seem particularly interested. Okay.
Okay. If it would be permissible by the prince, I would like to speak in Vivi's favor, even despite the fact that he hasn't really put himself forward in a particularly respectable way. I don't think there's any evidence here of his actual involvement, and I don't think we should be jumping to any conclusions.
Yeah, Your Excellency, Vivi is just an idiot, but I don't think he killed this person.
He nods. Guillermo says, we must begin a formal inquest to gather facts and help us determine who has committed this heinous act. He requests that Roland's desiccated body be brought to a separate chamber for investigation. He also asks that no one make any effort to leave Venice until the inquest is over, lest they incriminate themselves. And with that, we're going to move to another scene. And this is going to be a different room. And the body is laid on almost like a slab. Guillermo pretty much lets anybody in who wants to look. Some of the council members come up, kind of take a look, and just kind of step back. No one touches the body. No one really does anything to it. I'm going to go ahead and describe it to you. His skin is gray and ashen, unnatural even for a canine. His features are sunken and skeletal. He looks hardly like the vigorous man he appeared to be in the council. Most disturbingly still, his mouth, nose, and ears are filled with fine black dust, like volcanic ash, but without any sulfurous odor. He is also missing 2 fingers on his right hand. They appear to have been snapped off rather than cut.
Can I Can I tell how old he was?
In terms of like generation.
Yes, and how specifically old? Because obviously he kind of rot up to his.
Typically,
died when he died.
Yeah, typically when Canites die, their whole body crumbles to dust. He did not. He was his vita, from what they have seen so far, was not removed. It was altered and became this dust that you see pouring out of his nose and his ears.
Can I remember, was he wearing any rings on those two fingers?
Was he wearing any rings? I don't believe we described him as having any rings.
It wasn't. Maybe it was mentioned. I'm trying to remember because I spoke to him last night, so I might remember if it was. Has anybody found his fingers?
Kima says, "No, we have not begun searching for those."
Where was the body found?
In his chambers.
Are we in another chamber or are we still in the chamber?
Yeah, you all basically had your own rooms you're staying in.
No, but I mean, is the body still? Are we in his chamber or is this another chamber?
No. The body was moved, and was brought in here. So.
Has anyone had access to his chamber since?
Only the servant who came to rouse him for the meeting. When the servant went in and found him like this, he immediately alerted myself. And then I notified the prince, Guillermo. Excuse me, this is Lonzo speaking.
Ah, okay.
Sorry.
The servant alerted you first.
Excuse me?
So the servant alerted you first.
The servant ran out and, found Lonzo. Because he was told that the three of them were essentially a party staying together.
Did the servant notice anything else about the...
He did not stay. He opened the door, which he was probably not supposed to do. Typically he's supposed to knock, but when he did not receive a response, he opened the door.
How is he still somewhat intact?
Well, that's when you would need to make some investigations on the body.
boy.
Does anyone have auspex?
I don't know. Let me find out.
I don't.
Looking. Hold on. I don't think I have it.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't see auspex anywhere here.
Okay. Right, Guillermo is examining the body and and when he's looking around, he raises a finger and he says, "There, on Roland's neck." And waving everyone closer, you do see a small incision on his neck. Perhaps the size of a thin dagger.
Have we seen anyone with such a weapon?
You have.
Mm-hmm.
Your friend VV has daggers.
Yeah.
Pretty much everyone has daggers.
I know.
Looking closer, since no one has auspex, I'm going to give it to you guys. You reveal a reddish, sticky residue that is around the wound. Guillermo takes great care to avoid touching it, as he feels this is probably a poison. takes out a small metal instrument to try to collect a little bit of a sample. So you think you're dealing with a poison
Okay.
that affects canites.
I did not know that was possible.
Can I make an intelligence plus occult roll to see if I've heard of that, or academics?
Yeah, I'm thinking academics. Either academics or science with intelligence.
I'll go for academics. Intelligence. Either of which is much more point.
Does anyone have any kind of herbalism or anything like that, or more in science? You got one success. Not quite.
I've heard of such things. That's it.
I've
Don't
got
exist.
just one skill point in medicine. That's
Medicine would be helpful.
Okay. Oh, I have one in medicine as well.
Okay.
I have one of the ladies that one of my women in arms has higher points than that, but I don't think that they would be in here right now. So
They wouldn't be. No, they wouldn't. Unless you want to summon them
Mm.
and have them take a look.
I'll try. She would have
Okay.
a better chance than I would, but but give it a shot.
Okay. You bring her in, and she examines it and says, yes, that's definitely some kind of poison, milady. Excuse.
Oh, that was a roll for me. Sorry. Do you want me to roll for her?
Either, it doesn't matter. What-
She's got a higher her. If she did intelligence and medicine, it would be
Okay. Okay.
5 instead of 3.
Go ahead. Well, yeah, let's have her roll then. Because at 2, yeah, she was basically telling you what she already knew. So
Okay, so I'll pretend like I'm.
that's fine. What you can do is you can
I'll just
add
do a
additional.
modifier.
Yeah, just add additional dice to
Let's
be
see,
hers.
so it would be her intelligence is a 3, yeah, and her medicine is a 2. She has academics of 3, so I don't know which one would be better here.
Academics of 3 and medicine of 3.
Medicine is 2.
Go with the academics. Excuse me.
Whoa.
Nice. Okay.
And she's also the one who speaks Italian. So.
Leaning in, she's like, yeah, that's some kind of organic, naturally occurring poison, perhaps. And she says, if she says it in Italian, which I would assume she first said it in Italian, then translated it for you.
Yeah, I don't speak Italian yet, so she
Okay.
doesn't talk to me in Latin.
Okay. Lonzo kind of rubs his chin. He says, "It's what I suspected. Roland Durocher was killed by bloodroot poison. And if anyone wants to make another academics roll, academics are occult. I would take with intelligence.
Let me try occult this time. I'm going to rouse to boost my intelligence.
Okay. Okay.
Can Christina roll again on that to see
Sure,
if she's ever
sure,
heard of it?
yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm suddenly smarter.
Oh God. Okay. All right. 4. Okay. Let's see how Mahel does.
Yeah,
3. Okay. I'm gonna let you guys essentially work together on this because I don't want to have the NPC telling you too much.
Right.
you know, you've some of you are unfamiliar with it, but the ones who do know that bloodroot, also called sanguinaria or sanguinaria, can be used to create a toxin that is deadly to vampires. It originates in North Africa and Iberia. In its natural state, it's a pale white flower with large petals that are veined in red.
Oh.
And Guillermo will say this very thing.
So,
After
does
you guys
blood-
have basically given your synopsis,
Hmm.
he
So-
concurs.
I knew
does
it was
anyone know
bad.
if there's any bloodroot? Does bloodroot grow anywhere near here?
Does not.
There's so many problems with it.
Now, if you guys remember when you arrived on the docks,
We were handed flowers. Just like that.
Yeah, I was right to not touch it.
Mm.
someone put it in his teeth.
Yep. Yeah. I figure Isker was carrying the flower, and then she saw the basilica and just kind of PTSD'd out, you know? So, yeah.
Anna, who is in the room, she says, I saw them. They were carrying a small bouquet of white flowers just like those that you just described. They brought them in here.
They
Carrying
were,
a bouquet?
they were handed to us when we
Yeah.
stepped off
Yeah.
of the boat
Yeah, we thought it
We're
was
carrying a bouquet.
custom.
We had
by somebody in your city. So where did they come from?
What? Well, why would someone give you flowers? That's not a custom here.
They said it was. We didn't know any
Well, they
better.
lied to you. That's no custom.
Obviously, yes. Uh-huh.
So who's running around your city handing out flowers that are poisonous to vampires without you knowing about it?
Lonzo has his mind made up and turns. I find you all complicit in Roland's death. I am going to speak to the prince at once.
speak to him together. Because we had nothing to do with your.
He doesn't seem to be listening to you. Now, there is another canine who hasn't spoke up much, and I'm always pronouncing his name wrong. Khadijah. He is a Lasombra, but he is of the Muslim faith. He does speak up and says, "Now hold on, everyone. I think we're rushing to conclusions here. I think there's too much circumstantial evidence here. That I think we need a little more time to put this together." Alonzo has just stormed out, and
I'll follow him.
You're gonna follow him?
Yeah.
Okay. And he just enough of your lies.
I'm not saying anything. I just want. If he's heading to Prince, then I want to be there.
And
If you want to speak to the Prince, I want to be there because I don't want you filling his head with your own version of stories. I'm sorry for your coterie mate's death. I had not to do it. I had no quarrel with him. I'm not involved in any
everything's
way.
going fine until the five of you arrived.
Maybe somebody saw the opportunity because they knew we were the first. We would be the first one to be blamed.
And he gets back to where the prince is, and of course the server died.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's start it up again.
Yeah, it's that time of the evening again.
And Guillermo again follows. He is now trying to keep up with like everybody, and he says, he calls in guards. He says, "We need to settle this and talk about this in an organized fashion." I must say, unfortunately, I believe you all must return to your chambers and stay there until you are summoned. I'm trying to treat you with the utmost respect I have, but at the moment, it's not looking good for you.
I think somebody's trying to frame us.
Could not tell.
That's something. Don't you know how we would do that?
How did you what? I'm sorry.
I don't even know how one of us would do something like that.
My friend, I don't know any of you very well. And the fact that one of your member is a noted assassin. And
all right.
Yeah, but he's also not very subtle.
And he also doesn't just kill for fun. He kills for money. So
Right. There's no money.
Where's the money?
how do we not know he was already paid? That he was planning to abscond from this place?
Because I don't have it. Search me. I
And
have
if
no
he
money.
had done the job and gotten paid,
If it was him, why would he stay around
How
afterwards?
did they?
Those are questions I cannot answer.
There are a
And
lot
Gar-
of questions you can't answer. You can't answer who the woman was that met us at the boat and
I
gave
did
us
not
the
see
flowers.
this woman.
You can't answer who here has the knowledge to know what those flowers are and to turn them into a poison. You have lots of questions you haven't answered, and we are not the only ones here that are capable of having done anything.
All I can say is that you will be treated fairly by the prince. Now,
Sure.
would you please return to your chambers? And the ghoul guards, and these are ghoul guards, will step forward.
Oh, okay. I
There's
know about
about,
this.
I would say 4 of them.
Only if we're allowed to still talk to each other amongst ourselves in our chamber and go freely between each other's chambers.
We cannot allow that.
Yes, you can.
Okay.
She'll-
What would the player like to do?
I would say she would summon all of her persuasive powers
Okay.
to
Yeah,
convince
can I?
them that we should, they can block
Can I
off some
assist her?
hallways or whatever, but they,
Yeah, let's see what you've got, because I'm pretty sure you have dominate. I probably have
Definitely
presence as
dominate.
well.
I have presence. So I'm also going to use. I don't know. From what I remember, Vampire doesn't have an assist.
Not really.
Not
Well, Zoya does have compel, which commanding a resisting victim, a victim the vampire has previously dominated in another scene. Oh no, hold on. It's no roll required if it's somebody they had already. This would be, you can go against, you can basically try to force someone to follow your will.
I think she would try to persuade them to see reason first before she would try to force them.
Okay. How about Mihail?
I'm also trying to do the same thing, so I'm also
Okay.
Well, reinforcing your points.
Okay. All right.
I mean, she has. I don't know if the awe of her presence would help, or
You can turn on awe. That could help.
Yeah, I'm also turning on all because.
Okay.
does her her stunning +2 to social dice pools come into play here at all?
No. They already kind of know her already. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, how does the awe? affect the dice roll?
Add your presence to the dice pool.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so I would. Should we trying to go for charisma plus? Would that be
Well, let's see.
leadership,
It is,
intimidation, persuasion?
Let me go back to your character sheet, and we'll see. For compel is going to be your charisma plus dominate. So you're going to use your charisma, and then add in what you're adding for dominate. So you have a level 2 dominate. So it'd be your charisma and your dominate, and then I believe you were adding one more for your awe. I believe, which I don't know if technically.
I just
I think it's just charisma and dominate, really.
Okay, I guess I thought she was trying to persuade them without having to force them initially, but.
Well, it's up to you. Do you want to use the blood, or you want to just try to use your persuasion?
She's gonna try to persuade them first. So do I need to roll old school here?
No. You would do persuasion, and once you do persuasion and charisma.
Oh, is everybody else back in Foundry? Because I'm not.
Oh yeah, you can. Yeah, you can go
Gotta
back and
click
Foundry.
the.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just click
Oh,
it.
I'm sorry, I didn't notice.
Okay, there. That's okay. So okay. So is this persuasion plus charisma? Is that what you said?
Yes, please. Yeah.
Okay. And then I think the awe would play, and she's trying to just kind of get them on board.
Well, awe is already kind of like a passive effect.
Okay.
It's already kind of turned on, so it's still going to be. But in this case, yeah, you're just doing your persuasion and your charisma.
You can rouse for your charisma. You can.
Roll?
Yep, you could, yeah, that will help. Well, once you're back in, well.
Yeah, we'll wait.
Sorry, I guess it's not.
No. Don't
I
worry
was
about it.
back in. It's not
Well,
working.
it started up and I was talking. I didn't get a chance to tell everyone it was back up. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in.
It looks like I'm gonna have to log back in. Sorry, hang on.
Oh, no problem. Okay.
There you are.
So. Okay, cool. Let's have this roll first. And
Okay. Sorry about that.
Okay. Got 2 successes.
May I also roll to kind of?
Yes.
also-
Yeah.
points?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm actually going to rouse
Okay.
that extra charisma.
Okay. Success.
Let's go.
Charisma and persuasion, please.
Yeah, and I've got my O active. Nice bonus.
Whoa.
Oh boy.
Oh.
How about a bestial failure, though?
Well, I don't think that's best.
Yeah.
Mm.
You are very persuasive, Mahel. But, and let me ask you a question, and I believe I know the answer. He does have a forked tongue.
Is that literally a thing?
I want to find out if it is. I don't know if all set-tites, excuse me, no one's supposed to know that, have a forked tongue. But when you're speaking, you still do something that almost like a hiss when you're really trying to.
Yeah, but too much emphasis on sibilants.
Yeah. Maybe sounds very Slytherin. Which Guillermo kind of raises an eyebrow and looks at you and Zoya says, out of respect for your noble sires or your patrons who sent you here, I will allow you to speak to each other. But your area of the compound will be shut down. You cannot leave that area. But out of respect, I will allow you to leave your rooms and speak to each other. That is the best I can do.
Thank you.
That was with some good rolls and some persuasion. So
Teamwork makes
Okay.
the dream work.
yeah. But yeah,
Are the ghouls still there?
Oh
or
yeah,
not?
yeah.
They
They're waiting.
They're waiting where?
Right in front of you.
Okay.
And they were ready to start beating you if you
Okay.
if you had shown any kind of physical resistance, but you did not.
No. I want to ask them who they belong to.
Who they belong to? The prince?
No, the ghouls.
The ghouls, yeah.
Yes. They belong to the prince.
Yes.
Is that what they're going to tell me? Okay.
Yes.
Just checking.
That's
All
probably
The prince's honor guard, basically, huh?
Yeah.
We're temp. Yeah.
Iskra knows a little bit about ghouls, so yeah.
Yeah, no, they will escort you back to your wing, and any external doors are locked. You're not mistreated, but you really will have no contact with the outside world. Now, they do attempt to confiscate any of your possessions, your gear.
No.
What does gear mean?
Weapons.
That's
I
not
don't have
happening.
any.
No,
I don't have any.
Okay.
I want
I
to
don't have
roll
any
to
weapons.
hide my weapons if I'm allowed.
yeah. I was gonna say you may want to do that. Okay.
Iskra doesn't use
should-
weapons.
Shall we go for dexterity stealth then?
I think it's. I'm almost thinking subterfuge.
Okay, or larceny.
Yeah.
I mean, larceny could be.
Yeah, actually larceny. Yeah, that's actually a better choice.
Interesting.
Let's go with wits and larceny.
Wits and larceny.
Yeah,
Oh my.
That's a much lower roll than dexterity larceny for me.
it really is, isn't it? But, yeah.
Uh-huh.
But you're attempting to be criminal, not
I am
fast
attempting.
criminal.
This
We already know you're
feels
fast,
like my
but are you
line of work, but yeah.
are
Usually,
you
I'm bringing the
smart
weapons
and
out and not
criminal?
putting them away. So, difficulty. Are we facing a difficulty here? Of a particular?
Just wits and larceny.
Okay, all right. I'm going to surge this because I really like my weapons.
Can we get a bonus for all the stuff that's in our rooms?
That is a messy critical. 5 successes.
Right. Where, basically, you might not remember later where you hit it. You probably got inside a mattress or something, and was able to like seal it back up.
Oh yeah. I did such a great job, and now I can't find it. Yeah,
Exactly. You made it.
Now lifted the ceiling tiles so the
Yeah. Okay.
Which mosaic was it behind now?
Zoya, they were going to attempt to take your stuff.
No.
No.
Okay. Are you going to intimidate them? Are you going to give them a stern talking to?
Yeah, I will.
You can do persuade. I would allow intimidation or persuasion with charisma.
All right, I'm gonna try to intimidate them first. Like I am
Okay.
a knight, and
Okay.
you are not gonna put your hands on my armor or my sword.
Okay.
So.
No, ma'am, we're not going to touch anything. And they back out quietly, and that is when the doors are locked.
All right, we need to talk to Vivi.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, we unbarred his door.
Unbar it. Yeah.
Great.
He's just sitting in there drinking wine, looking as casual as he possibly can. Like, I'm enjoying this room anyway. I don't really even care that I'm under house arrest.
We're gonna
We all are.
meet in Iskra's room, though.
Okay.
Right,
Yeah.
because
Yeah,
I've got
so
all
you're
the
meeting
he
Iskra's
prefers religious artwork in mind. So yeah, Iskra doesn't want anything to do with that.
She doesn't handle crosses very well.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so I think it's a good idea that we meet in Iskra's room because
Yeah.
that's going to be better for her. So I'm happy to stretch my legs and be free once more. That confinement was getting to be a bit much for me. It was like being in that box all over again. I just couldn't handle it. So,
Yeah, a very fancy box with lots of art and wine and velvet and
Yes,
Which
Yes.
real
which
hardship,
room is the
Vivi.
furthest
that's
from
right.
the-
That's right. I was suffering a lot. What'd you say?
Which room is the furthest from the ghouls?
I don't know.
I'm going to assume they're listening to us, so I want to be far away from them.
No, there's no bugs or no.
That
There's
we don't have the technology.
yeah. There's
I'm saying, well, you said there's ghouls guarding us.
Well, they are now outside. They have gone like out to the exterior door.
Okay.
So there are no ghouls right in where
Okay.
you are. They all
Yeah, I
backed
just
off.
want to be far away
because-
from the exterior door so that
Yeah.
the sound
That's fair.
carries them.
That's
So-
fair,
so-
but
so
I
scared
think
them
I
out.
think our walls are muffled enough here, and if we just talk
Yeah,
in low
it's
enough
I mean
voice-
it's thick stone
Yeah.
walls.
Yeah.
I mean
Mhm.
it's yeah.
We can put I can put guards on our door, on Iskra's door outside to make sure
Yeah,
that there's
yeah. That's fine.
Okay.
So, what all did you find out, and how have you secured my release?
we're all stuck
Well,
here.
first of all, let's get this out of the way. Did you kill him or not?
Obviously not. I mean, I don't even know how the body was killed. Can someone bring me up to speed with that, because I wasn't there to examine the crime scene?
It's kind of
If you were
strange.
gonna kill him, how would you do it, Vivi?
Oh.
Oh
Thank
no.
you for asking. I'm so glad you asked. Well, I'm very fond of. Yeah, I'm very
When you find your
fond of.
hole, stop digging.
Yeah. And he goes into this long, detailed account of like how he would sneak up and track the person, their movements, and everything else. And then at the appropriate moment, i.e., while they're asleep, he would just slit their throat in a very neat fashion. Then, of course, carve his initials, because he always leaves his calling card, because that's how he spreads his
Okay, let me
reputation.
get it straight. You're going to wait for him to be asleep.
Of course.
Then you're going to be asleep at the same time.
Oh, are we dealing with a kindred here? See, I have no information. Like, I don't know. If we're dealing with a kindred, obviously they're not asleep, and then I just slit their throat from behind anyway. So.
That's just an annoyance to a kindred. Doesn't really do much.
Yeah, but they bleed out and everything, and you know, they generally don't like decapitation too much, so that usually works.
Okay,
I mean,
decapitation
I'm not
works.
usually. I mean, if there is a steak lying around, I might use that before impaling them, you know, and that sort of thing. But mostly, you know, it's one of those things. I go after mortals for the most part, and let's not forget the most crucial detail here. I secure advance payment before doing such a job. Because, you know, sometimes people try to burn me on that shit, and I need to skip town and everything else. But I have not received advance payment. No payment whatsoever. Nor would I pursue any kind of job without such payment. So, I work for free.
Okay.
And he's going to turn out his pockets. I have no money, all right? No money. This trip has been expenses paid for since I got here. Lovely flowers and, you know. And
Yeah,
that's
those are dangerous to vampires, we learned.
what do you mean?
Yeah.
You don't know what those flowers are, Vivi?
No.
The one that you put in your teeth.
No. I thought it was pretty.
Oh boy. Don't do that. I'm gonna try to don't spit it out. It's a poison.
Yeah. Oh, wow. How do
Yeah.
we know this?
There's a corpse that had some evidence that
They use
that might have
poison?
happened. Someone
Oh.
did.
It's so slow, though.
Well, it's a strange situation. He didn't just turn into ash.
Oh, well, it's definitely not me then. Like, I mean, that would be too slow. There's no artistry in poison.
That's
It's
actually
just
a
like
good
you wait
point.
for them to
How long-
die.
How long does blood root take? It's like instant, or does it take like days,
I don't
hours?
know. I don't know
That-
anything about this poison.
Do we know that from our own?
I mean, I would imagine if this is kindred we're dealing with, it takes a long time to kill anybody who's kindred. So, especially poison. What's that all about? I've never even heard of that.
I guess it came from those flowers.
Ah.
I guess I think they gave it to us so to frame us.
So it was the girl then at the docks that did this.
Well,
Well-
or
Well,
someone
I don't
she
know.
works for.
But well, I'm kind of assuming the girl at the dock was a cutout, but.
Well, we need to find her and interrogate her. Obviously.
well, we can't leave here. We're not allowed anymore.
So we're on house arrest again.
It's mostly
Wow.
on you.
How are we supposed to find the real killer then? Obviously, I'm not the real killer. I don't know word one about poison. Who does that? Either kill him quick or you don't kill him at all.
I don't know.
The grand old tradition of assassins using poison. I mean,
there's different branches. I don't subscribe. They're with Gryffindor. Okay, I'm not one of them. So.
So how do we figure out who that woman was?
I don't know.
Because it does seem like we were kind of set up from the beginning. Like if someone
We
knew
didn't
we
know
were
it
coming,
though.
someone knew we were coming, and planted basically something that would then implicate us later on for something that they were already planning on doing.
What use is that? I mean, they're all just fighting among themselves. They don't need to fight us, you know?
They're not.
Well,
They're just using us.
yeah, just convenient. They need somebody to take the fall because
Right. Why would they need somebody to take the fall for this Venture's retainer dying or whatever? Like, or their handmaiden or whoever he was. Like why? What does that benefit him or anyone else? Like, apart from just getting a few kindred killed, like executed by the prince, like why? How does that advance their agenda, though?
If nobody takes the fall, then the investigation will continue, and there's a risk that the investigation will turn to them. So.
Right. But what's the advantage of killing that person anyway? Is my question. Like, why not just kill Lonzo?
Well, would Lonzo have any reason to have Roland killed to make it look like someone else did it?
That's what I would do.
Praetor will speak up. This is Roland. Remember, made Tommaso, made his arguments appear very foolish. He did anger Tommaso quite a bit.
That's fair.
And Roland, as Lonzo's aide, was a more eloquent speaker. As you see, Roland seems to get very angry and fiery and doesn't really seem to get his points across very clearly. Well, we brought Roland along as basically a diplomat.
Oh, that's fair. Okay, so it was a Spanish contingent. It makes me ashamed to be a Spanish person today.
I don't know. I mean, Tommaso. Do we know of Tommaso? Is he an old venture or young?
He's a La Sombra.
He is a La Sombra.
Yeah.
Is he like an older Sombra, or is he like the embraced one?
You don't know. You know he's definitely older than you. And
I would assume that then
he is high-ranking among his clan. There is an organization called Amici Noctis. I might be saying that incorrectly. Friends of the Night. So he is a high-ranking La Sombra.
Well, we can't go after Tommaso because if they could do that to Roland, they could do that to any one of us. So the very obvious solution is to just frame Lonzo for the murder of his own diplomat.
Well, of course.
That's how you get this done. Yeah. So.
Oh, no, first of all, I don't think whoever did that is not going to go after us because there'll be one way to clear our name. If we're found dead of the same cause, then we won't be suspects anymore. That'll do us much good, but won't do the other person much good either.
Is there any way to if only we could get out there. See, I'm really, really good at finding people. That's like how I do, like I find people and
You don't understand. We're stuck here right now.
yeah, I know.
I bet Praetor could get out.
Maybe.
I mean, we're only a couple 100 feet underground, right? I'm sure there's a way out, right? Like that.
I don't know.
The only way you know out is through that door that is locked right now, and there are guards on the other side.
So awful. There's no secret passages or doors or posterns or anything like that. No secret tunnels like there always seems to be in these underground fortresses.
Seems like they put you in a spot that doesn't have any of that.
Yeah.
Maybe that was on purpose.
I'm sure it was by accident. I can't imagine them willfully engaging in that kind of, malicious behavior. So,
They're probably just planning to build them, but just
yeah. Well,
How would we even get out, though?
Well, I mean, obviously, we would just find the secret door and then leave that way.
Yeah. How do you?
Okay, let's call that Plan B.
It's just simple. That's how you do it. I've been doing this for years, so I mean, there's always a secret door somewhere. But yeah, I guess then we could very clearly state that we were all in our own quarters, right? I mean, we can.
Well, we're allowed to talk to each other.
No. I mean, during the murder, can't we prove that?
Oh, I hadn't thought of that.
Oh.
Like, we were all in our own room. I was fixated on the tapestry, on the mosaic, right? The intricate depictions of Christ in perverse positions and everything. Like, I mean, I couldn't tear my eyes away from that, So, like, yeah, I'm just saying, like, and the busboy or the feeder ghoul or whoever, the blood doll it can vouch for my being in there all the time, because I must have taken at least 2 or 3 drinks from him. So, like, he knows I was in there. So.
Yeah, the DoorDash guy.
Yeah, exactly. yeah, I ordered room service at least 4 times. So he knows I was in there. So, yeah.
I promise. I don't think it'll take that long for somebody to stab Aldo.
The what? I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
I don't think it'll take very long for somebody to stab. Tell me, you should know about stabbing people.
But this wasn't a stabbing. This was a poisoning, which is so beneath me.
It looks like he was.
It was a stabbing.
Oh, it was a stabbing.
It was, yeah.
Oh, that looks bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I can't knock their methods. I mean, I do use daggers myself. I mean, it is a tried and true way of getting somebody dead. So
they didn't slit their throat, though, which is how you described.
It's how I would have done. It's clean. It's professional. You can even carve your name into their throat. As you're doing it. Like it's yeah. There's a certain eloquence to it. Eloquence too. Yeah. So yeah, okay, daggers. I understand now why they think I did, but still, no money. I got no money. It's just so. Ugh.
Also, I don't think they were specifically aiming for us, because they were specifically aiming for you. That we could put Vivi on the scene.
This is a frame. This is a frame up, and it's really. I'm gonna take this back to my people. People are gonna hear about this. This is going on the big wall of assassin, lore.
Give them a 1-star Yelp review.
That's right, exactly. It's a 1 star. I would give it 0 stars if I could. Don't go to Venice, right? Like run by a bunch of corrupt Ventru. So, La Sombra, the other Ventru.
Hey. So if we can't sneak our way out,
right?
How would we even do that? I don't think we have any windows to sneak out of here at all.
Underground. So.
We either have to find our way out, or we have to convince them to let us go and investigate.
I don't think
to clear our names.
Even. I don't think they're going to let us do that.
No.
I don't see how that's going to work.
Maybe we can get the permission to do this, provided we give them some collateral. You've got a number of very comely.
Don't even go there, BV.
Just don't.
A collateral. They get.
Yeah, we could give them you.
That's true, but then I can't help you with my amazing skills of finding the girl from the dock. I could do that for you.
I think we would.
Well, but your handmaidens, I'm sure will be just fine. They won't hurt a hair on their heads. And then we're free. So and if they do, you can always hold that against them. I'm
No.
just trying to.
Oh, wow. You are so out of touch.
This is how I
Call
do
the
things.
sheriff
I'm
and ask
frustrated.
It is the Dark Ages.
Yep.
So we're thinking Tommaso might be the culprit, but who else would it be?
I don't know. Domenico didn't seem to have any interest in what was going on at all.
Mm-hmm. Who was the one that talked to you, Vivi? I don't know what she said. I think you gave her something. Oh,
Lucita.
yeah.
Lucita?
Maybe she's mad at them. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. She's totally with Tommaso. I'm sure that she helped. Or maybe did it for him,
I don't know. I'm just guessing.
Again, it makes me ashamed. To think I offered
well,
my
you
services.
did make an offer to
I
her.
did, but
to
they
work
didn't
as an
actually enlist my
assassin.
services, nor did they pay me for it. They just threw me under the table as like a sacrifice, and that's bad form all the way around. It's just offensive. Yeah. So,
Praetor will raise a point. Let's think about this from another angle. Are there clans, factions here that are not represented that might be in opposition to a crusade?
well, yeah, the goddamn Setites for one. Just kidding.
He says that's a fair point.
I don't know if there's any from my clan here. I have no
Yeah,
idea.
There were no Bruja that you were introduced to.
No, not at all.
Yeah, I think the Banu Hakim would be opposed.
I agree.
That would be kind of.
Tremere. Well, you don't know about the Tremere. Tremere at this point are more focused on their war with the Zamisi.
Yeah.
They're more worried about that than they are about this. So
Okay.
Haven't seen any Zimitsis.
you haven't seen any. No.
And I don't recall seeing any roses there either. Although this is not rose. I mean, obviously roses aren't generally for war in my experience. I happen to be an outlier, but I don't know. Maybe they're more bellicose than I give them credit for.
Well, there's also known as Ferratu. Present companies do that.
Praetor does raise that there is a certain Toreador that they encountered in Sofia who might be opposed to actions in Constantinople, and that would be kind of relating back to Iskra, back to your letter.
Yeah.
Character named Alexander.
Yep. He was
But whether or not he has the reach to pull off something like this.
But from what I recall, Ronaldo was of the faction who was against action in Constantinople anyway, so
yeah,
the faction who was against action in Constantinople probably wouldn't kill him.
Yeah, because Roland was pushing for an attack on Egypt.
Yeah.
So
Praetor says, who comes from Egypt?
The damn Setites, like I said.
Setites.
Do you know any Setites? I don't know any Setites. They're usually very sneaky. They speak with forked tongues and everything. I mean, usually extra S's at the end of their words.
I don't know
a bit like you, but we both know you're Ventru, so yeah.
Yes, of course.
He's got his membership card and everything.
That's right. Yeah. He's true blue.
The fight of Ventru.
That's right.
What about the other person who spoke up in the chamber? What was his name? Khadijah?
Yeah. He is is La Sombra, and he would be generally against a crusade, but he did speak up in your behalf, saying that he thought perhaps some things seemed circumstantial, and that trying to get cooler heads to prevail, but the Ventrue are very headstrong, and when one of their own is slain, they tend to kind of circle up the wagons and want justice right away.
So who was for the Snow Commission? It seems like there was only Tommaso and Pressure. So who else was in their faction?
Tommaso, Lucida, and Khadija are all La Sombra. The Prince and Guillermo are also La Sombra. So, yeah, this is a La Sombra controlled city.
It's a La Sombra, party.
Yeah. But the Prince and Guillermo have really been feigning neutrality because basically they just want the city of Venice to profit from this crusade. So they really haven't taken a side. They're really just trying to keep order between Lonzo and Tommaso, who've been basically just butting heads on, okay, we're either, we want to send him here, we want to send him here. So,
well, and that's what Giovanni's interested in too, is the money.
Yeah.
The Giovanni is more just interested in the money. Yeah. He just wants it all to go successfully. So,
I get that. I understand cash. Which I did not get paid.
We know.
But you said there's also some Toreador involved that we haven't met yet?
Well, Praetor mentions that in Sofia they had encountered a Toreador named Alexander.
Yeah.
Who was a former crusader who had a strong business in artifacts coming from the Holy Lands. He was bringing them through Sofia to sell them elsewhere. And Praetor will basically sort of admit why he's there. He's the Prince of Sofia has sent me here to represent his interests here and to see that everything goes through successfully, because individuals like Alexander would potentially not want another crusade coming through the Holy Land, because then, although war can be good for business, not for his business. He wants all the artifacts and everything kept right where they are so he can keep moving them. He doesn't need any other pesky Europeans coming in and getting involved. So he raises that information as a possible factor. But then he does glance back at Vivi and said, but I don't know if Alexander has the resources within his own clan to pay for someone like Vivi.
Well, and why kill off one of Lonzo's people whenever they were arguing against the crusade anyway? So that doesn't make any sense.
Right. Yeah, he's just helping to kind of settle some of the kind of what's going on.
Tommaso seems to be the only one who really had a motive to kill Ronaldo that we know of, because
obviously going to Egypt would be a problem for Setites. Like that's just straight up. Maybe Banu Hakim, I don't know. But like Setites. And this is dealing with poison too, which is also very Setite. So I'm going to blame the Setites.
Praetor mentions that the Banu Hakim, I think they're called the Assamites at this time, but we all know what we're talking about. Yeah. They are also very strong in the Middle East.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think it's one of them, very sneaky, hoping to see that Tommaso and Lucida get their way, maybe in collusion with them.
Of course, it's also possible that Ronaldo's death was unrelated to this whole issue and this some feud has been going on.
Yes, but if the outcome is to be affected at all by this death, then I'm sure that's motive enough. You can't trust either one of them.
I don't trust anyone at this point. Not from the council, not from any of that.
I'm on the same page as you. I don't trust anyone either. Yeah. I feel betrayed. I feel betrayed and aggrieved. Yeah.
It just seems too obvious. Like for Tommaso to just try to take out one of Lon's, like it just seems so odd.
It's weird, yeah.
Gain there.
I agree.
I don't know.
I agree.
Yeah, because his.
And it's underhanded even for a La Sombra. Yeah.
I think it's underhanded for La Sombra.
Praetor, do you think Alexander's here?
No.
Okay.
No, he's not the type to from our dealings with him. He's not the type to get his hands dirty. He employs people to do these things. I don't suspect he's here.
Okay. Just checking.
Can't rule out that he did have some kind of agent involved, but again, I don't know.
He killed my ghoul, basically messed with his head, and so if Alexander's here and I meet him, things will get interesting.
Is there now? I am in contact with and have worked with from time to time various other assassins.
Mm-hmm.
Would I recognize the signature of this particular execution as the work of somebody particular that I might even run into at work? That's what I'm reaching for here.
Sure.
Let's say intelligence and I don't know, possibly investigation or possibly something else.
I would go intelligence and academics. Academics or politics.
I'll go with politics. Let's do that. Yeah. Intelligence plus politics. And can I add my 2 dots of contacts as like extra modifiers?
You can't contact them though.
I know, but I mean, just as like representative of my knowledge of.
Well, no. Because if you were able to contact them, yes. But
yes, that's fair. Yeah. Okay, all right. Well, I'm going to roll for this then, and I'm going to add a little surge to this. Whoops. Okay, I'll just roll the surge first, and that'll pass it. Okay, all right. So here we go. No whammy.
Oh,
that's not a bad roll right there. Nice. Yeah, that's 5 successes.
You know that there are certain assassins who do use poison, and they are of certain clans, particularly the followers of Set and the Assamites, Banu Hakim, whatever we want to call them.
Damn, Setites and Banu Hakim. Like, what's you know,
they're very different. So
they are different.
I understand they're different, but this both has their signature all over it. Anybody, but nobody in particular. Nobody that really stands out who has used these methods. Maybe
who's used these methods.
Yes, no famous assassin who might also be working for somebody like Alexander.
You're fishing for a name.
I am fishing so hard.
That wasn't enough for you to.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah,
you've been basically able to narrow it down. But not a name that you would know of. Not hey, when we were at the convention, we were
right, exactly. I talked to this guy. He uses that poison all the time. He was even bragging to me about how, I mean, sometimes assassins talk. They like to talk about their work. We get together sometimes. We share.
From my experience, the trick is to get them to stop talking.
Yeah. I know.
Okay, so if we can't get out of here to do any investigation,
we should drink.
Can we? Is there what?
What?
Drink. Wine.
Do we think it's possible? let's just say hypothetically, if it were possible for us to get word out to someone outside, get a message, just is there someone that would be helpful? If, let's say, Mikhail or I could convince someone that they needed to get a message.
Then it would be helpful here.
You hear from the doorway, because you're vampires, you hear these things. You hear the door opening.
Oh.
And you hear it close, lock again. And Guillermo comes in. He finds you guys in your room. And he says, settle down. Basically like, don't worry. Speaking for myself and not as the second in command, I think Lonzo's case is weak. I think it's unlikely to succeed. As outsiders, you are convenient scapegoats for a heinous crime. Nevertheless, though, Prince Narcissus cannot let any such charge, no matter how frivolous, go unheard. He's agreed to hear the case against you, if only to maintain the peace. This solution is an equitable one, given the tense situation here in Venice. I will be escorting you to meet with the prince for your trial. And that's where we're going to wrap up for tonight.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And we will pick up again next week. How's everybody feeling?
Stressed.
Judged.
Yep. There is a little glimmer of light in what he said to you.
Yeah.
So.
But it's sunlight, so.
Oh, no!
That's what I was going to say.
It's the kind of thing where that light at the end of the tunnel is a train.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I think this is a good place to wrap up.
Yeah.
Okay.
I hope you're all enjoying this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Iskar's just really stressed, but other than that, I'm fine.
Probably going to be executed, but you know what? This is the dangerous life of an assassin, so I'm here for it.
Another character. I'm very sorry for insulting your character so much.
Oh boy. Okay. Well, I want to thank everybody who's been watching the stream. Hope you've enjoyed it. Please remember to give this video a like, subscribe to the channel if you would. Coming up next week, we have some new things going on here at Restless Barbarian Gaming. We will have not only the next episode of Mortem on Thursday, we are also going to have a new series starting. The game is called Symbarum, and it is a dark fantasy series from Free League. This year seems to be the big Free League year so far, and we are going to be... Thank you for watching. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Yeah.
All right. We will be starting that game, and our friend Aloysius will be running Symbarum. That's a new series that's coming out. And then on Saturday, the 27th, again, this is next week, part 1 of Vaesen, Leap of Faith. We're going to start that series. So lots of good stuff coming up on the next couple weeks. Please check it all out. Check it out on our socials. Let's see if anybody has anything they want to plug. I'm going to start with Jen.
Of course, yes. Hi. As always, I'm the host of the Shattered Soulstone podcast. It's about the games that are happening. Mostly Diablo stuff is what I focus on. Once in a while, other games from the same company. But anyway, you can find it at shatteredsoulstone.com, and new episodes come out every Saturday.
Awesome. And anybody else have anything they want to talk about? Anything going on? Anybody? No? Quiet bunch. Okay.
Wow. Okay.
All right. Oh, that's fine. We'll go ahead and wrap up, and we will see everybody next week. Good night, everyone.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.